Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptmancer, where we feature content on play and earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. And in today's video, I wanted to walk through some features of an up-and-coming website here in the Splinterlands community, elmo-burns.com. I'm going to leave a link in the video description below. And this site has got a lot of features that I want to talk about. And specifically today, I want to focus in on the market features of Elmo Burns, as well as the burn feature that's built into the market and the bidding feature, because these are some differentiators in the Splinterlands market that I think you should be aware of. So here is the site itself. It's elmo-burns.com once again. And you can see here it's got a number of different features on the site. We're not going to go into each feature specifically. In this video, we're going to talk about the market feature. So let's hop right into it and talk about that by going here to the market. And what you're going to see here is the market is, well, what you would expect from a card market in Splinterlands, right? You can search on all the cards, you can filter on sets here, soulbound rewards, conclave arcana, anything you would like. But really what I want to call your attention to is this little box here where it says 696,280 SPS has been burned thus far from just people participating in the market transactions here in Elmo Burns. And that's impressive because that gives back to the Splinterlands community. It adds scarcity to our SPS token. So this is a nice benefit here from the site. We're going to have a separate video talking specifically about the burn mechanics of the site in general and how it does loop burns here for extra benefit. But what I want to call your attention to here is just the fact that you're going to be burning SPS when you make purchases here in Elmo Burns. Now, if you look at this particular system, there's some things to note here. So generally speaking, the Splinterland markets, all markets are going to charge 4%. But what the markets do with that 4% is important. And I want to walk through a couple of sections here on where the market fees go for Elmo Burns. Specifically, what I want to call your attention to is the breakdown. So as a participant in the marketplace, you're going to get 2.8% cash back in DEC direct to your Hive wallet based on any purchases that you make here on Elmo Burns Marketplace. In addition to the 2.8% cash back or DEC back, which is very, very high, you're going to get 0.3% of your purchase is going to be burned in SPS, which is fantastic. And we're also going to donate or delegate 0.1% of your market fees into a monthly reward pool where you have leaderboards where if you're a large buyer during a particular month, you're going to be able to get some more DEC back through the reward pool there, which is funded by 0.1% of the fee. There is a 0.06% support fee for supporting the Qualis system and a 0.06% support fee for the push and shove token support as part of the Splinterlands ecosystem. And then the server costs and operating costs for the Elmo Burns website takes 0.68%. So it's a very reasonable administration fee for this website and the service that it provides. You can see the details here. Now, what I want to highlight here is in addition to the burning mechanic that's built in here, in addition to the cash back feature that's here, in addition to the leaderboard rewards feature, there's also a very large differentiator here in the market that I want to call your attention to, and that is the bidding feature here on Elmo Burns. Now, the Elmo Burns bidding feature is unique and it differs from bids like, for example, on other external third-party markets like Peak Monsters, for example, in that it uses a different bidding algorithm or methodology to basically get essentially a 90% win rate against other bid services. And that's pretty important. It's pretty unique because if you want to make sure your bids hit, well, this is a strategic advantage that the Elmo Burns website is going to give you. Now, specifically for market bids, let me just walk you through how that works, basically. If you want to go to a bid here, if I go to this Mad Kaboomus, for example, as a card, I can buy the cards as normal here, like any other market. But if I want to place a bid, so let me take just one quick step backwards here. So to use the marketplace, first of all, before you authenticate here, you're going to want to log into the Elmo Burns website. And you're going to authenticate using your Hive keychain as an example here. And you're going to log in. Once you log in to the website here through your Hive keychain authorization, then you can enable your bidding authority here, which you would toggle this the first time by clicking this authority. And it's going to basically pop up a screen where it's going to request the market purchase or market bidding authority on your Hive key to be able to make purchases here from the Elmo Burns website. And it's going to allocate that authorization to 10 specific bidding accounts, which we'll talk about here in just a second. Once you allocate that authorization to your Hive key, you're going to want to hard refresh the site, so make sure it's in effect. Then you come back here into the bids and place your bid. You're simply going to go add a bid here. You're going to place the bid, and you can see the market price right now is 0.05. So you can place a bid here, let's say a 0.04 as an example. And you can say, let's say I want to buy 400 BCX of this common, and I'm okay with getting a max BCX card with one transaction. And then you just hit the green check mark here to confirm that, and it would go in the system. Now, this is unique for a couple of reasons. One, it's unique in that unlike bidding services like Peak Monsters that'll show you the highest bid in the marketplace, it's not going to show you that here. It's just going to ask you for your best bid. You can certainly open up other marketplaces like Peak Monsters in a different window and compare and see what the high bids are at a particular point in time to be competitive. But really what's important here is you can put any bid that you want here, anything probably market price or below to fill. And what's interesting, because it uses the SPL Trader API and methodology, it fires off bids constantly in fast order. It doesn't do queued or bids that other services do that kind of queue up and take time. This is really taking the basically bursting on the blockchain and pushing random bids out there at frequent intervals. And basically what's going to happen is if your bid, if for example, the market price of a Mad Kaboomus is 5 cents and someone listed it for, 0.04 cents, which would have triggered this bid, chances are that we would be able to scoop this up over someone who bidded 0.04 on another marketplace just because of the way Elmo Burns uses bidding in the SPL Trader fashion. So it's a competitive advantage. They estimate they have a 90% success rate over other markets. And combined, again, you can combine it by looking at the market bids in other markets to put a competitive bid out there, and you're going to be able to hopefully secure that bid over other players out there. Now, you might ask what happens if you have multiple people, for example, on Elmo Burns, that would trigger the bid. Let's say you have a bid at 0.04 and someone else has a bid at 0.041, and someone has a bid at 0.039, and let's say someone listed at 0.04. Well, you may get the card over someone that bid 0.039 just on the nature of the bursting that happens on the blockchain here with Elmo Burns. So there is that random chance that even if you have the lowest bid, you still, from Elmo Burns, may get your bid filled over someone else just because of the random nature of the bid, but you will get filled over someone else, for example, on another marketplace like Peak Monsters, for example, more often than not, just because of the methodology here. So keep that in mind. So that is definitely unique here with Elmo Burns. Now, the other thing I want to call your attention to here is the leaderboard. You can see here the current leaderboard for, looks like the current month here. You can see the number of players here that are on the leaderboard. You can see here their volume of their purchases and their pool share right now, 30% of the cashback pool is going to the first place leaderboard, which is Vugtis currently right now. And yeah, so that's just an extra way to get some additional DEC back, in addition to the 2.8% you're going to get back anyways just by making a purchase here. And again, you have the SPS burn function here, which I will just show you very briefly. Again, we'll have a separate video walking through exactly how this works. But if we go to the home page, you can see here that Elmo Burns has burned to date almost 1 million SPS as part of the flywheel here in contribution to the community and the SPS scarcity here for our token. So it's definitely I think a powerful method here. Again, I will have a subsequent video talking about how that burn process works, what are the triggers for the burns, all of that juicy detail in a future video. But again, I just wanted to highlight on this video the marketplace here, the fully functioned marketplace, the benefits that you get from Elmo Burns, and hopefully this video has been beneficial for you. And until next time, keep stacking those stats.